Good day, good evening, good night, and welcome to our 145th podcast. I just want to acknowledge that this podcast took mountains. We moved mountains,
Oh,
heaven and
for
hell
fuck's
to
sake,
get
here we
it
go.
together. See, you can hear the difference, right? But anyway, the name of this podcast is Indian is Not So Well. So, now that I say that out loud, that might be a problematic title.
It
So,
might be.
this might be a little bit. So, not
But
so.
you know what? Actually, entirely appropriate. So
Yeah, it is. So before I go any further, let me acknowledge my co-hostesses with the mostesses. Actually, my co-hostesses, I'm not so sure if they're the most this week. At least mine. Just saying. So we have
Wow.
Andreen from Solely Tennis Travel. And I want to confirm you are home, right? Where you
I
live
am
in.
home where I need to be, so you can hear
Okay.
me.
All
Oh
right. Which
man.
might be next week on tomorrow. It might be a whole different story. How are you doing, Andreen?
I'm very good. I'm very good, actually. Super
Come on,
excited because you're right. I'm going to be someplace else next week.
Are you going to Miami?
No, I wish. I'm surprising my sister with a gift. And we are going to visit our mom, and then we're going to go see a wonderful Broadway show.
Oh,
Look
which
at that.
one?
Hamilton.
You've already
Hamilton.
seen it. You're going again. You are such a bad bitch.
I know. I am.
Making power
And
moves. I
and
think
I'm
she's
gonna try to
competing with our lovely Deb. She and Deb are trying to compete. Who can see Hamilton the most?
the most.
Right?
No, and I mean, if all goes well, I might actually see Reels in person again.
I
Whatever.
know, right? I know. Like,
Nobody ever comes to fucking Ohio.
I mean, why should they? We need a passport for that shit and a visa. Like,
I can't even stand your
who's
ass.
who's trying to go through all that process? I
I
mean,
know.
just take an ID and get around other states. But anyway,
Unbelievable.
how are you, Janina? You sound like you're far, far away, like on the move. What's up with that?
In my car.
Oh,
I'm
that sounds like a
Why,
sorry.
punishment.
why are you in your car? Explain,
Because
please.
because everything is all my fault. That's why.
See?
It is my fault that we didn't record last night because Janina had to go to bed. And it's my fault that Starbucks was too loud for me to sit there. And it's my fault that it's only 39 degrees, so it's too cold to sit outside. So I said, fuck it, I'm going home.
There we go. Audience, how do you feel about Janina right now?
Exactly. She sounds like she's far away. And you know what? She just took by her being honest. I don't even have any shade for her right about now.
Exactly. Nothing.
All I can say is, this is the homosexual of the podcast, real. So,
Oh my God.
ladies, we have a lot to discuss and not a lot of time because
Yep.
somebody got a family, and I don't know what's
See?
that about.
See?
Oh, sorry, I'm petty. I'm petty.
You couldn't even help it.
But you know what? Let's just start at the top.
Yep.
For the second goddamn year in a row, Federer decided he gonna play charity. This is not what the Federer Foundation is about. We don't give titles to wannabes.
Well, we do at Indian Wells, that's clear.
That's not what this is about.
Except it is.
I mean, come on.
Hey, we all
I
know
mean,
that
meanwhile,
Indian Wells plays by
Stanley's
play.
sitting up, Stanley's here like, what the fuck? You give Delpo a title. You give Dominique Thiem a title. But you couldn't give me a title in 2017?
Oh,
You
honey,
made
he
my-
did. Wait, let's revisit. He gave him that title in Monte Carlo.
Well, we ain't gonna talk about that. Because, that title in Monte Carlo was like one of the reasons why I don't do sports betting. Because I was ready to put money in. That's like, Federer gonna take this. It's
Oh my
Stanley
God.
in a clay court final. It's Federer. Like, this is money in the bank.
Federer was playing the long game. He's like, wait, if I beat Stanley now, how are we gonna do in Davis Cup when he looks at me and was like, can you just give a fellow a break? In fact, like, I'm not dealing.
Stanley's all up in his feelings. Always up in his feelings. It's true. Federer did the right thing. You scratch his back then, and then he scratch yours. Because you know what? I mean, Marco Trudonelli is not a number 2 man. He's not. He's a good wingman, but he's not a number 2.
No, because he's
Not a
so
tennis
beautiful.
coach.
But no, I mean, yes, it was charity. See, I'm so happy that I have you all because I know that everyone is thinking that I am not a charitable loser. Listen, if Dominique, this is the thing, right? Like, oh, she's just being mean to Dominique Thiem. You know how people want you to do. They want you to like shake hands at the end and be like, well played, blah blah blah, compliments, compliments. BS. Not gonna happen with me. Because you know what? It's fine if Thiem beat Federer free and clear when Federer is going after his shots. But I have no idea who Federer was in set two.
He like disappeared, right? I swear to God, I was like, oh, are we back to taking second set walkabouts?
Yeah.
That I said that out loud, not even in my head. I said it out loud.
I mean, literally could not find a first serve in the second set. Came
so
out and played sparkling tennis that we knew he was capable of in the first set. It was over what, 37, maybe 27 minutes, 26 minutes. And then it was like, he was like, you know what? I don't know if we're going to finish this. This is going to finish too quickly. Maybe I'm just going to take a little chill pill. Let me pull back a little bit. As normal. And then Dominique Thiem suddenly teased off on the ball, which is what he is capable of. And it's fine, but it's ugly set of tennis. It's like, who's on the other side of the net? Where did you go, Federer? What's going on here?
It was not fun.
It was not pretty.
So let me just say this. One, really and truly, Janina has to share maybe 60%, no, 80% of the blame why this podcast is happening on a Monday and not on a Sunday. I'm going to say really and truly 20% because, I know there's a lot of Fed fan listening because I really want to say this is really all Federer's fault. Because had this motherfucker handled his business in straight sets, we could have had a podcast in here. We could have had this on Sunday.
That's true.
Because I was just like, no, I got the time wrong. Because first of all, Indian Wells, Tommy Haas, don't know what you're doing here, but I guess you feel like you wanted people to watch tennis. That might be cute for Indian Wells, but come on, Hikalo, we can't see shit. So what's the point in teasing us? And then can't do the whole, you can't go all the way. What's that about? But
no, you got to celebrate. Indian Wells got their finals on ESPN2. That is an achievement in tennis.
Oh my God.
I was like, Federer, what are we doing here? I mean, this was a gift. Dominic Thiem, hard court, final.
Well, played
101 title.
You saw,
I mean,
Dominic Thiem, he was smashing his shoes like it was clay on there.
I know, and sliding into the ball.
Yeah. It was money in the bank. Money in the bank. And I was just like, Federer, what are we doing here? Why are we looking?
Okay, we can forgive him the second set, right? We can forgive that. But the third set.
Come on, dude.
The third set, almost love 40 on Dominic Thiem serve. What is he doing on the return game?
Jacked up shit. That's what he was doing.
He had some plan that only he don't know because nobody else who knew tennis knew what the fuck that plan was.
You guys want to know what happened? That's what match fixing looks like.
Stop it. You're always saying that. Don't be coming for our man. No, you know what it is? I you know what? I shared this with a couple people in DMs because, of course, everybody like chastises you, but then they come to your DM.
Right.
And I was like, listen, this is what happened. I was like, you could tell the difference between a Federer who was comfortable winning and a Federer who didn't mind losing. Federer in the Dubai final, he was like not having it. He's like, I'm snatching wigs. I'm taking this 100 title. So ready, fighting viciously for this. The Dominique Thiem match, he loses. I think he was fine with the loss the minute it was over. He turned it in, gave a nice little speech. And actually, one of the reporters reported it. One of the British reports was like, Federer puts on his jacket, ha 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 ha, as if he's just handing out. Like, that is what I'm saying. There was no anger. I'm not
charity.
I'm not expecting Federer to be angry. But what I'm saying is like, there was a lack of intensity towards the end of that set that made all the difference in the world. Too casual.
All I'm saying is just like, Federer, if that was the plan, tell your fans, okay? Tell Deborah.
Yeah.
Because you know what? There were people who pulled out some voodoo dolls to just, you know what I mean? Just like, don't be surprised if Dominic has an injury come clay court season.
Oh
because you
shit.
know what? People use up some prayers to be with some
For no,
talking
you
prayers
know
with
what?
Dominic team
For
way.
no damn reason. This is my thing. You know what? I don't mind Federer losing. That's not a problem. People lose. You're outplayed. That's fine. But the worst for me are brain fart losses. I cannot deal with those.
This definitely was a brain fart.
You know
loss.
what? You know what? You know, sometimes, I'm gonna go back to the first set. Because you see, sometimes it's like that thing that Sergey told us
Yep.
is that when he lost the first set, he felt, oh, I wasn't playing so badly. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But it's the same thing. If Federer had given Dominic the double break and the breadstick like he should have, Dominic wouldn't have been feeling his oats. He's just like, wait a minute, it's just one break. Let me just keep at it, keep at it, try something different. Because he don't look like he really wants it. Because Federer doesn't think twice to embarrass you. Look what he did to Murray. He don't care. Once he's on it, he's on it. He don't care if it's a bagel, it's
He's
a bread.
nicer these days.
He don't care about the
Much
occasion.
nicer.
You know what I mean? And he's going, but you know what? The other thing too, he didn't try any trick shot against Dominic. He didn't try to there were no highlights reel. There was none.
Oh, there was a tweener, wasn't there?
So, no,
That
but you know
tweener
what?
didn't work.
The thing
Didn't
about
work.
it is, in the first set, Federer approached the net and won all of his points. Then in the second set, he decided, well, let me just see if I can ball out back here at the baseline.
Oh my
Why?
God.
Why?
Hubris
Why?
every fucking time. It was just like at one point I was just, I was gonna tweet, about just like, you know what? Let me keep my mouth. I just like Dominic's team is pulling out the Rafa playbook. Just like,
Yeah, he was.
I know, which is why Masu looked like he won the lotto, started crying, all that mess. Because, for the funny thing about these people, this is the other thing people need to be aware of. It's a big deal for Dominic Thiem to beat Federer, but it's even a bigger deal for the Masus of the world to do it because he was their block. He was their cock block. Do you know what I mean? And so these people, it's like Ivanisevic. They come to cheer on and massage the people through their charge. That's what it is. I mean, Masu got up there and was crying like he had just won a slam as well. And I think at some point in time, Dominic Thiem said, it's like winning a slam. I was like, Dominic...
Girl, it's not.
Wait. What about Darren Cahill saying that this was clearly the biggest final that Dominic Thiem had ever been in?
I was just like, what, girl?
He forgets the clay season like we all do. He was like, wait, wasn't Dominic in an RG final?
That was great. That was so great. I was like, yeah, we don't care about that shit either.
But I mean, and the thing about it is, and this is why we can have this conversation because we are Federer fans and we can love him and be harsh. But the other thing is that we are also people who can know when Federer is not performing well. And I think one of the things that always startles me is that commentators, they're so eager for the Federer win, for the win over Federer. They don't even look at how it happens.
No, they're eager for the Federer win or the win over Federer.
That's what I mean. They're eager for the breakthrough win of the person over Federer, right? Because this is the whole point. Nobody wins at the Masters level. It's rare, and it's also a younger generation. So even it's kind of like when Coplis. I was talking to another fan, and we're like, remember when Coplis beat Serena, and they were convinced that it had to do with Coplis, and you're like, okay,
right.
And it's the same thing here. It's like Dominic really took it to Federer. He really did. Federer had no answers. And you're like, And it's not puzzling to you what happened between set one.
Right.
You're not, because it's like, what was it? It was like, remember when Federer tried that bizarro drop shot? What was it? 2006 semifinals of the Australian Open against Marat Safin. And you're like, what are you doing?
Hubris.
A little bit of hubris.
Because half of those losses to Rafa would be just like, Federer, if you stop telling yourself you could hit this man from the baseline and come to the fucking net, you would have saved some of these bagels and embarrassing losses. But no, you decide, I could out hit this bro from the back of the net. No, it cannot happen. And his success in 2017 was where he found his ass in the midcourt. That's how he found his ass.
And this was the same formula that worked in set one, which he abandoned in set two, and then got super casual in set three. Dominic Thiem was nervous the entire third set. And instead of capitalizing on that nervousness, I actually think that Federer soothed him in the set. Like brought him along. Come on. Here you go.
Hey, let me fuck it up. I mean, there was a couple of points where Dominic was just like, woo.
I
know. I got away with murder right here. I was just like,
when he almost went down love 40 in like his service game before Federer lost his serve.
No, that was the real charity right there. That was real charity. Because, I mean, like, Federer knows these times are few and far in between.
Exactly.
He might be excited that he's in another final, but that motherfucker know his body, okay? Like, he knows. And he's gonna play this year. So let me just put it out there, people. If this month is really serious about playing clay, Wimbledon is gonna be a wash out.
Well, this is the thing. This is my thing with Federer. Is like, I understand how Federer's intensity it comes and goes. I get it. But the thing for me with Fed is that sometimes if he doesn't prep his intensity, he loses it entirely. Like if he doesn't like maintain the high level, it's really difficult to ramp it up again. Once you get casual about things, you can't bring it back.
That was that time for you to take a little break. Do a Serena walkabout. Like, hey, whatever.
Oh, shit.
Let me take the time.
However, I mean, listen, more power to Dominic Thiem for getting to that final. We as Fed fans are just frustrated because Federer gave that away. He really did. But you know what? And when you give it away,
an asshole.
The person across from the net wins. I'm not to take anything away from Dominic Thiem because he was across the net and he did do things.
I would say that I mean, like, I would say a lot of people, even when Federer is giving them his C game, a lot of people would still trip over and choke on it.
Yeah. So Dominic,
I give him credit for that, and he also played. I mean, he took down Milos.
Well, yeah, but see that match, that was a deserved win. Like, if you want to say things about Dominic Thiem and how he got there, I think that was a massive match. But I don't think he played at the same high level in the final, even. And I don't think that Federer couldn't match him. Like Federer was matching him toe to toe as he was fighting off break points in the very first game. I was like, the rallies, because after the women's match, which was incredible, you're like, how's this gonna go down? Because
right.
I thought Federer was going to just a solid, be like, I'm gonna take this quickly because we've been on here for this ladies match.
Yeah, no. But the first couple points in the first couple rallies were ridiculous. I was like, and of course we're all like, that's great, Federer, but let's not be rallying like that.
Yeah, I was like, stop it right now. You can't be hanging. Like, you might win a couple of these, but your old ass is not playing a whole match.
Doing this.
I thought that was what Federer got caught up into. He got caught up into, I'm going to try to show this young boy
that I can hang.
Hang.
He knows.
And you know what? Federer, your backhand was cute in 2007. It was the shit. But now these mofo with one-handed backhand, they go to the gym, boo, and they are lifting and squatting. Okay, look, I mean, your backhand cannot compete with that. They're not Richard Gasquet backhand where you can make look silly, right? And Richard Gasquet could do anything, has a better backhand than
you. Better quit talking about Maya's man.
Well, I'm just saying that Gasquet has a very pretty backhand that could do anything he wants it to do, anything. But Federer keeps thinking his backhand is really the shit. Boo, you're like number 6 on the list of one-handed backhanders right about now. So he was trying to be like, I'm gonna compete with Dominic with this shit. And then he tried to slice. And then Dominic was just like, oh yes, bring on the full hand with this slice backhand bullshit. It was like Federer was making every
down the line was money.
Exactly. I was just like,
well, I mean, at least Dominic gets to like
the net with kamikaze shot, like, Andy Roddick is coming to the net here, and then Federer just fuck up the point. I was just like, gift Federer. Don't be giving Dominic all these gifts. But you know what? I don't want to be bitter Betty. So I'm gonna take contact.
It is so too late for that.
But you know what? Who I'm gonna shade is Nicholas Matthews.
We've exercised the ghost of it right now. We've exercised the ghost of that match by being truthful about what we saw.
I'm just gonna save my shadiness for that Nicholas Matthews because I'm so happy Nicholas Matthews is back on the scene because he put the Olympics into relevance. It ain't relevant.
He did.
It put us back because if all you're gonna say is that Nicholas Matthews is Olympic champion 2004 and won the singles and doubles, and that's it. He confirms yet again Olympic and Davis Cup title are weaves to your resume. The mediocre. Just saying. So Nicholas Matsu, welcome to the tour. You're gonna stop a lot of bullshit conversations from happening. And let me just say, boo, you're losing your hair. I see that nice comb over.
Leave him
Oh.
alone. Cruel. Anyway, what nice things can we say about Dominic Thiem for people who like him?
I mean,
You know what?
he
Here's the
gets to
thing.
put his name in the basket of no one who can win a Masters.
You
in
mean to
this
pull his name
era.
out of that basket, you mean?
I mean, there's only like a handful of people in there who got one. In the
That's
last
true.
10
I'm just saying,
years.
I'm living in a world where Dominic Thiem has a Masters and not Monfils. Nah.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
are.
Wait,
I mean,
doesn't Monfils? No, he
probably-
got to the final in Bercy, but nothing. Listen, this is what I'm saying. But you know what? Do you know why? Because Federer wasn't feeling charitable back then. But these mofos be getting charities right now because, and I have to say, these people have been getting some, like, it's like Sasha getting these Masters titles from Nole and Rafa, and now we got Dominic Thiem with Federer going, well, what's the worst that can happen? I lose one.
You know what I mean? Andy Murray would never.
Never.
I'm just saying.
But you know what? That's why he can't walk. So.
Oh my God, that's true.
You know what? That would have been me to say that, but you know what? Thanks, Janina. So I won't get blocked. You know, people are blocking and I have no reason why. I think it's because
but that was, I mean, that's the way we saw that final. I think it was made more competitive than it needed to be. But you know what?
That it could have been Monfils had the police not showed up at his hotel.
Let's just
listen.
I mean, when Federer wants to feel charity again, but you know what? If he plays Monfils, he's gonna want to go hard. But we know Monfils can hang. But I'm just saying, this is why we're not wasting titles. We could have been on 105, 104, 106.
Could have been on 120. We could have been on 120 if you asked Deb, but you know what?
Oh my God.
She's right. She's right.
I'm sorry for calling your name often, but you know what, Deb? You are who I live my pettiness through. Okay, like I channel all my Fed rage through you because you give voice to some of the things I just can't say.
Anyway, I mean, congratulations to Dominic Thiem. He's now the new recipient of the Federer Foundation. Pass it on from
Delpo. Delpo wasn't here to hand it off to you, but you know what? We had the man, the mission, the man right here to hand that title to you. But you know what? You know, when Federer won 100, right? They had this mashup montage of all the people saying, you know, congratulations, Federer, etc., etc. So Dominic Thiem was part of it, and I'm just like, my God, that's how you sound? Like, what is this? I keep forgetting. I don't know.
I forget about Dominic Thiem on purpose. So this was a weird reminder.
I forget that he's Austrian and he has like a Austrian, Germanic accent in English.
Yep.
And then he started to talk, and I'm just like, why are you doing that? Like every time I hear a German person speak English, my initial reaction is just like, why are you fucking around like that? That really can't be.
God.
Brutal.
And I'm just like, oh, that's really how he sounds. But I just think because I see him so often, you know, like I figure, you know, like I just imagine he would sound, if anything, like Bona Chorich, right? Like, you know, like he would just have a different kind of accent. And I'm just like, no, he won't. And then I saw him up close and I was like, he still got those crabby eyes, boo.
He does.
Well, that's all right. What are we gonna do?
But anyway, you have a Master Series title, and you know you can threaten a lot of people's faces. And you know what? I'm here for your pettiness, Dominic.
Well, you know, it's also so helpful for the ATP to convince itself that the next generation is moving on, doing something.
You know, honestly, I wasn't in the end. I was just like, you know what? I'm kind of happy. I'm not gonna say I'm happy, Federer. I didn't mind it, and he didn't lose to someone I dislike, like Del Polasi. Like last year was like, fuck it, I'm mad. But it's Dominic, and you know he's a young person. You know what?
You're more generous than I. I dislike this even more because you can at least say that Delpo was wrestling that out of Federer's hands.
Oh my God!
No,
I didn't.
Federer should look, listen to me. Federer should.
Janina didn't care.
Let me tell you something. You see, Federer needs to get some Serena blood up in him because you know what? Once Maria behind that final, no, bitch, you know, no, not as long as I am walking. Dope is never supposed to be Federer ever, just ever again. There's supposed to be some savage beatdowns just to remind that motherfucker that I give you that title in 2009. I was generous then,
Woo!
no more.
I made you.
I made you. Exactly. But Federer ain't playing that position. You know what I mean? He's trying to be charity foundation. But I'm just saying, you know, that, you know, for me, I just thought, you know, it's encouraging
Sure.
because, you know, I mean, you just gotta be the struggle because, you know, apparently according to Novak and the player council, you know, the old icons, you know what I mean? They're not up in the loop. So let's get the new young blood. Let them get into something, you know what I mean?
Listen, Federer's playing the long game. He's hoping to fluff up Dominic Thiem so that the Dominic Thiem can be ready for the clay season. Well, good luck with that.
So now that we're off of the men, let's get to the
Yep.
lady. So
Why does everyone get sick in Indian Wells? Why is there always some kind of weird thing that goes around there? Why?
Do you know what I think? I think people like Indian Wells enough that they stick around in on the facilities. Because I think in places where you don't enjoy it, right? You might abandon it to go to your room, hang out at there. But I think people really enjoy the tournament site itself. That when they stick around, and if something is passing through that site, good luck. I mean, because this is like this is like the second or third time they've had like a bunch of people come down with illnesses for various reasons.
Yeah.
So I think people just really hang out on site.
You
I
know
mean,
what
I'm
else I
not
just
saying Junior's gonna
realized?
tell me, but I mean, let me finish before Junior gonna say, you know, drums have nothing to do with the weather. But I think because of the extreme temperature, people are always like all over the place touching things and taking off clothes and putting on clothes and touching each other and in their clothes. Because there is nothing you do out there. There is nothing between there and wherever they stay, right? Is there?
I mean, not really. I mean, it's basically like it's like a vacation. It's like a resort, basically.
And
I
the
mean, so
players
you just
stay
hang
on
around.
site?
Hmm?
Players
Not that
stay
you
on site?
stay on site, but I'm just saying it's a sleepy town. You know,
Oh, okay.
there are no clubs, there are none of that stuff. So people really, I think that people tend to stay on the grounds and hang
And they
out and
socialize
socialize
with each
there.
other more often
Yeah,
than
and I think things are more liable to pass around because of that
Well,
reason.
it's flu season.
Yeah, and
and
also
isn't
Spring
that where they
every
do
year at this
pictures and
time.
whatever they have
they
like
they
events?
do all the behind the scenes stuff. That's where they have the
Okay.
meetings. That's where they shoot the World
Mm.
Tour final photos. That's where
I
Singapore.
mean,
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. You gotta be in the same room where Rafa was scratching his ass all day long and then
Oh
touching
my
shit.
god.
I mean,
Well,
But it just
the other thing too is
seems
I actually think that some people brought their illness from the Acapulco tournament and then passed that sucker around. I think people were in various states of
oh
illness.
yeah, and they're all over. They've literally come from all over the world, really, to come
And
to
this is
Indian
one of the
Wells.
few, and it's one of the few places where everyone converges. Like if you notice, everything shuts down during this Indian Wells tournament. That's what's actually really nice about Indian Wells is like you look around and you're like, this is the only thing happening, right? You might have like a a challenger or something, I think immediately preceding it or just right after it, but everyone is generally there. And so I think that's probably one of the reasons why you're seeing all this crap. It doesn't really happen in Miami because people leave.
And I think in the other places they generally follow each other around. They're in the same place, so they'll be like, "This motherfucker have a cold. Stay away from him."
And they all come together, and it's like
something.
But
Yeah.
no, I mean Indian Wells. But the ladies tournament seemed to have been, I know that the ladies tournament is the best tournament ever because if you follow tennis Twitter, it is important for you to always remark that the WTA is having a great tournament. It's like a thing that has to happen every time.
I mean, you know what? Fuck it. This is our podcast. WTA fandom sometimes act like Bernie Bros. You gotta love our man. You gotta love our shit. Okay. We're not gonna show you any real quality. We're not gonna show you substance, but everything is just great because it's WTA. Man. Bernie is great because it's Bernie. It's Bernie. And this is the thing,
it's like you can't help yourself. You just feel yourself reacting to the nauseating, constant stroking of itself. And it's like, it's okay. It's everyone plays good tennis. I get it. I mean, we also understand why they're doing it, but it's just so much sometimes.
Actually, I don't understand why we're doing it.
I know, because the very fact that women play sport is revolutionary, and people push back on that, and so because there's always that sense. I mean, look, I think some weird controversy just happened with the basketball, the women's basketball bracket. I think what ESPN just randomly shared it without caring, and people are like, that would never happen for the men's, because it's true, it wouldn't, right? So I think there's always this like overcompensation. But I get it, but it just makes it so uncomfortable sometimes, because you're like,
but here's the thing though. This is the thing that I don't understand. It's like the ATP has done their job in putting that shit where it needs to be put, right? We can see it. There's no question where we could go see an ATP match. We gotta go to El Dorado to find a WTA match. It used to be one place, then they silently drop from another place. There is difficulty accessing and seeing it. So you're gonna have that issue all the time. So don't be mad when somebody don't show up, when people are not, they don't know who this girl is or that person is. Don't be mad at all. Because y'all have not done the job to get the market there.
But also I think it's the nature of the way that, I mean, listen, I don't know. Like it's like a social media thing. Like if you throw someone at me all the time, I just want to throw it back at you. Just let me calm it down. All right. We get it. And every person is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Every person. And it's just too much. Now, mind you, clearly Bianca turned out to be the real deal. She got that wild card, made her way all the way to the final.
How fun was that match?
I mean, it was, you know what it is? Totally appreciate her all-court game, right? Her willingness to come in, her willingness to just fucking hit the ball.
Yeah, that is true.
Listen, she hit Kerber right off the fucking court, and it was beautiful to watch.
Well, this is the other thing about Kerber, right? I mean, this is the thing. Listen, every now and then, Kerber's retrieving ability often like blinds you to the thing that Kerber's lacking, which is a serve.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Kerber's just happy to get the point started, because then she'll just like run you down ragged, right? But with a player that was just willing to go for her kill shot, of which she had many,
she crushed it over and over. Listen, and then during the trophy ceremony, Kerber was shooting fucking daggers.
Oh yeah, she's petty. She's a petty girl. She's petty.
But you know what? No, not even petty. You know why? Because you know why Kerber should shoot daggers? She broke the girl and served for the set.
Yeah.
And served to tiebreak, right? Served for the tiebreak. Bianca was serving for the match. Kerber turned around and broke her. Yep. And then you're like, okay, now it's on. But then you know what? Bianca looked across from the net and was like,
not today.
I'm still up 5-4, and I can return for the win.
Man.
Yeah, you know what?
You know what was good? The whole, I'm so tired, but I want this so bad.
Yes.
I fucking loved that. I loved it. Like, there are certain coaching moments where you're just like, fuck this shit, get your ass back up, because we know I don't like them, but I mean, that was a good made for TV moment, right?
Yeah, it was well done. Well, because you know what? She translated it. She translated
what I wanted.
Yes. So and then she translated her desire and her willingness to be like, I'm just going to go for my shots then. And it was perfect on a return game, right? Because that's when you will just take the risk. What's the worst that can happen? 5-all.
Right.
The best that can happen is you don't got to keep going.
Right.
That fearlessness is super attractive. But you know what? I think it's there with every WTA player on their first go around for the title. The ones that go for the big title. It's what the one who won the French had, like just hitting the ball. Ostapenko. Do you know, like the fearlessness? Some of them freeze.
I forgot she won a
No, exactly, you know what? Right? You know what that is? It's just like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be back here.
Exactly.
Again. You know what? I'm gonna snatch that.
I was getting 90s vibe from her. Bianca was giving me 90s vibe. You know, when the women wanted to beat whoever was across from the net, they weren't scared of it.
They didn't like each other, and they had no problem letting you know that.
And letting you know it. And they're not sitting around worrying about, oh my God, am I going to be able to defend this? They were just like, give it to me. I want it.
Yeah. You know what? Angie had that look when the girl was when she was serving to get to the tiebreaker when she was looking the girl was hitting, just like you're out of place. You're not playing your position. What are you doing here?
But you
And
know what?
Angie,
The girl said, I'm playing my position because you don't got no serve.
exactly.
She said, "Watch this, boo.
You know what I mean? Angie
Watch."
felt like she was being disrespected, and the girl was just like,
Well,
"Well, I'm supposed to do it 20 miles an hour, but just smash
you know
it."
what I thought? You know what I thought multiple times while watching this, and I'm watching her and how, I mean, she moves really well. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking, if we're being honest, she's a little soft right now. What the fuck
She
is
is.
she gonna be like when
When
she
she's like
gets
fully fit.
super fit? Yes, I'm here for
Well,
it.
here's the
I can
thing.
totally
Here's
get
the thing,
behind
people,
this.
right? Here's the thing that happens, right? Remember, so Indian Wells is like this anomaly on the
It always
WTA
is.
tour,
Yeah.
right? Hantukova won it twice over Martina Hingis, I think once. I don't remember who the other person should beat the second time, but it
This is
might have.
Sarah's second home.
And true. And these people end up winning. I mean, like, and we had Flavia Pineda won it in 2015 and she won the US Open.
And
Osaka
a
won it yesterday,
Russian
last year, and won the US Open. So watch out, Bazunescu. And I just blight you, Bazunescu. Is that her name?
No,
Bianca.
what are you calling her?
No,
Bazanescu? What is
no,
this?
Andreescu. I'm
Andreescu?
getting confused with Bazooka.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh
yeah,
shit.
well, they're all
But
Romanian
you know
last
what? You
names.
know what
So.
it is? This is the thing. This is unlike, for me, I just want to enjoy the run. I don't need you to tell me she's going to be the next thing since sliced bread. I
Yeah, let's
don't
just
need you
enjoy
to
it,
tell me that
right?
she's going to win a slam. I don't need you to tell me any of that. Let's just let these young women duke it out, be bold, be brave, and do what they do. Because what kills this buzz is the WTA follow up that's going to follow her.
Ooh.
And it's just going to drive.
Yeah, it's gonna be so
Oh, you know
bad.
my favorite take from the WTA press corps? You know, the folks. If you don't like X, I don't know why. Something is wrong with you.
I'll tell you why right now.
I'll tell you right now. Like you don't the best part, if you don't like X, you don't like tennis.
Oh
I know.
God.
It's like emotional blackmail, but it's kind of like if you don't like women's tennis, you don't like tennis. If you don't like men, it's like the same
I
thing. And
know
it's
what
like,
I do. I'm petty. I just don't watch those people.
Listen, ain't nobody got
I'm just
time
like,
for that
I'm gonna
shit.
rebel. I'm gonna put revolt here. You're not gonna tell me who I should like. Like, come on
No.
now. It's a sport. You like the personality that you're drawn to. You know what I mean? And it's not, you can't force somebody onto someone because, yeah, you know what's funny? They keep forcing people and telling us, oh my God, she's so nice. And these people always are never that thing. And they keep trying to tell you all. Petra is not that nice girl. She's
I know.
not. Osaka is not that girl y'all want to try to tell her to be. She's trying to tell y'all and y'all don't listen. And it's just like this false, and it's just and they wonder why people don't like them because they don't know who the person is. You keep saying they're X, they try to tell us we're Y. We can barely see them, and then when they pop up, we're like, what? What is she doing?
Let them discover themselves, and
Exactly.
it'll be fine. We don't need that. And it's just like, I mean, I get it. There needs to be stories told, but it's just like, oh, it's just exhausting.
You know what? We don't need stories. We need match wins. We need titles.
Yeah, and consistent ones, right? Like, but you know what? I don't even need consistency. Because you know me. I love those people who show up just one season and then you never see them again. I'm okay.
Oscar Pinker don't like that kind of vibe, girl.
Do your thing and move
No,
on now.
you know how there's some play. You remember? I mean, we all remember her. I think she's retired. Remember, she used to have Venus's number and she only showed up on grass.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but
Her name escapes me right now, but I see her in my head. Like, there are these players, and you're like, how come? I remember one year they actually asked her a question, and I think she actually only thought that the season extended through the grass season. She didn't know there were other.
Oh my God!
It's not Lasiki. Oh my God, this is gonna bother me.
Makarova.
No, it's not Makarova. No.
I know. Our fans, tell us who that is, fans.
Yeah. Oh, don't you worry. They will tell.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
We all know it.
Parankova.
Parankova.
Yes.
The one and everybody loved her. And
everybody didn't love her.
No. There's like a contingent of
people. She had a cult following.
Yes, that's what I was saying. That she and
Yeah.
especially, you know how some players develop a cult following, particularly if they can beat the Williams sisters, then the cult following is even
Right.
stronger. But so I was just always remember, I was always thinking to myself, how come she only shows up during this season? And it
Yep.
always happens. There's like some people you see them only on clay.
Yep.
Look, I'm only interested in people like um what's that guy's name? Who beat Rafa at Wimbledon? Those are the kind of people I'm interested in.
Russell, like they show up for just one match.
Rosal.
Spoiler.
Yeah,
And
I'm
they just
Oh,
interested in
Rosal.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in like a Sangha who show
Mm.
up for one tournament and try to get at Federer. Those are not that kind of thing. I'm very specific in the kind of players I like.
Anyway, so I mean, I think there's a tension between just overhyping a person and just letting them be at the same time, as just like, let's just enjoy this ride, and
Yeah,
don't spank us if we don't love them right away. We might want to warm up to them. I was watching
exactly.
her play, and
And
I
we might
enjoyed
and we
her.
might need to
But I
find
was
out whether they're racist or whether they even like people like
exactly.
me.
That's the
I
other
need
thing.
time
I'm
for
not
that kind
jumping
of
on any
thing.
bandwagon yet. I need to see. And then the other thing is like she's playing Svitolina. I like Svitolina. I'm not throwing Svitolina to the curb just because there's a
Mhm.
new person.
Especially when she is your concubine.
Oh my
You're in,
God.
you're part of her harem.
Exactly. Anywho, but it was wonderful. I mean, you know what? It was a wonderful match. I mean,
Anyway,
fearless
she
in
beat
it.
Kerber and Kerber beat Venus, so I was ecstatic. You
I
know
was
I
Yeah,
was
I saw your
excited.
tweet.
October,
I
though.
saw. Did you see Reels' tweet about
Yes,
when
I
you beat Venus, you do not prosper? I was like, this motherfucker is off the chains.
And then God was like, watch me work. Federer, you
Mhm.
won't get one-on-one today.
See, karma is a bitch.
I'm telling you, God
I
damn
liked
it.
Venus though. I liked the fight that I mean, we always see fight
You
in
know what?
Venus,
This might be
but
Venus
it
year of
was
rising because you know what?
listen. Oh, uh, hello.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, he
You told us to listen and we did, and then you stopped
oh,
talking.
it just got so quiet.
No, we're listening.
I
That's how
just
that
felt
works,
like
Janina.
there was something like extra with Venus, like in her intensity level. I saw her making faces that I don't think I've ever seen.
Did you
In
see her with Petra?
man, yes.
She was like, you want to be backing over? Hey, watch me do it. Petra fans were salty talking about Venus. I'm just like, it's Petra. You don't get to be salty about noisy players. Petra is the ultimate
Oh,
noisy player out here. Like, come on now.
yeah, she's
What are
got that
y'all
bark,
talking
and it's
about?
just so
Oh
bad.
my god. And then they were like, oh, Venus did not apologize when they let Cole to bring up match. But Venus is
Oh
a
Lord.
grandmother, okay? She's a grand dam. She ain't gotta apologize for shit.
I don't know why
Nothing.
any of them apologize. You're not sorry. You're
Well,
not
I don't even
fucking
care that,
sorry.
but you know what? Venus has owned her right now to look around. She don't have to acknowledge
But
that shit
nobody
I
because you know
mean,
should
what?
be
At her age,
apologizing
she's
because
going to take
they're
these
that's a
sorry.
weird
points.
ass because Venus barely pays attention to half the stuff.
I know, right? Like people steal points, and she's like, "What? Okay, moving on."
Yeah, it's just weird.
But you know what? I have to say that this year she's looking really. I hope she's pacing herself because
Mhm,
you know what? Last year I accepted that she had a glorious um 2017 and 2018. I knew there was gonna be a dip. You know
mhm.
what I mean?
So
And
it's
Mother reached the
time.
dip too. So you know what? I'm all God for that. You see, God don't like ugly.
Oh
So
my
I'm
god.
expecting her, she dropped David weight, which she should have done 10 years ago. But you know what? Better late than never. So I'm expecting to see some good results from Venus. I just need a French Open title. Not too much, just a French Open
Oh
title is
my
all.
god, that's asking a lot, I think. But hey, it is
Just
what it
one
is,
major
right?
to make it 8. I like even numbers, not odd numbers.
Yeah, but the French, really? Come on, dude.
Look,
The French?
I don't want Serena Stan come and
The
kill Venus because she took
French?
Wimbledon. I don't want Venus to win something new. That'd be a hot new story. She win the Australian Open or the French Open, something brand new.
So fun was the match. I just watched Serena and Vika.
I did actually.
That was
What do you
fun.
guys
Apparently,
think? Do you think that still was the best match, or did the final outdo that?
The final, well, the final, see, I don't know, because Vika doesn't have a serve either. So I I
but
don't
Vika
know.
was doing that thing
It
that she
was
always does
close.
though.
What?
I think Serena won in straight sets, right?
Yeah.
Straight?
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, she
But you
ended up
know,
winning a straight set. Yeah.
But it was good. It was a good match.
it was a good quality match, yes. I mean, I think they bring the best out of each other, that they're always, and the thing I love about their matches is that they don't allow the other one to slip. Like when one takes a break and naps off, the other one don't be like, "Oh, I'm gonna play bad just like you." Nope. You know that
Yeah, let
happens
me
in
take
men's tennis,
advantage of
right?
your slip up.
Exactly. You know, in men's tennis, they have this thing like, oh, I'm gonna play horrible tennis. Oh, watch me play horrible tennis too. You know, like I could outdo you all, like on the women's. Well, not let me not on the women's side, but you know, sometimes it's like, oh, break a serve. No one can hold serve here. But for these two ladies, when they play each other, they bring out the best in each other. However, people want to tell me this is a rivalry. Not when it's 17 and
You gotta
3.
respect the rivalries as they exist.
Look, I can respect the matchup, but it ain't a rivalry. It's not.
Yeah,
You
it's
gotta
just
respect the
fun.
matchup that that they play, because look, I wouldn't necessarily call. I mean, like on clay, Federer is not a rival of Nadal. He's not. He's number two, but he's just not. He just was not on the level to really compete with him on equal footing.
Yeah.
Vika is. I mean, if Serena is playing her ultimate best, like in everything. I mean, you saw in that US Open finals the last time they played in 2014, 13. Did you see that third set? Breadstick.
Right.
Remember that Australian Open? You know
Yep.
what I mean? Serena just stole that match, pickpocket those matches out of Vika's hand. The problem, as you said rightly, Janina, that Vika doesn't have a serve. And yes, you can run around and trade ground strokes and all of that, but you need to win free points. You
Yeah.
need to win free and cheap points. You cannot be slugging it out there every single point. It's just not gonna work, especially when you're playing someone of Serena caliber who can serve any point in the box. Like she can just hit her spots, and you have nothing. Ask Maria Sharapova. She thinks she was thinking Maldonium to out hit Serena, but that shit wasn't working. You know what I mean? You gotta do something better. But
Did we
anyway,
miss
so
Maria Sharapova? Did we miss her? Nah.
I don't think she exists anymore, but you know what? Hey, but anyway, so is there anything we want to talk about? Because apparently y'all decided we're gonna have multiple podcasts this week.
Oh wow!
Look, I gotta
hard.
go with the ladies. This is the month of the ladies, so I gotta go with the women. They said we're gonna have more than one podcast this week, so I have to go along with the ladies.
We won't do this often. We'll just use this as a catch-up week, okay?
Well, any other final thoughts from Indian Wells?
Well,
I think that Larry Ellison, is that his name? Is it Ellison? I think he might have had some plastic surgery sometime in his life, because I can't imagine that anybody's face just looks like that. It's really bad.
It's a given. Yeah, that's happened. That's what wealthy people can do. So it's an option,
okay.
you know.
Okay.
And that way they don't have to bribe their way to get into the office. They just walk right in.
So I do want to give someone a little plug while we're ending Indian Wells and heading into Miami.
Did that person give you a check?
You ain't even right. We are supposed to support each other.
Like 3 of us, we support each other. I don't know about anybody else.
You're so wrong.
Okay, go ahead. I'm joking.
Our buddy Chad is in Miami this week.
Yes, he is, and he's taking wonderful pictures.
He is. And if you guys don't follow him, especially on
You don't know
Instagram,
tennis, you don't like tennis, what's wrong with you?
You don't know tennis, you don't like tennis. Because listen, this motherfucker gets to get pictures of somebody celebrating and somehow hitting themselves in the face with a racket. Like he's doing God's work. So check it out. It should be good stuff. And I'm excited to see what he comes up with, because he likes to cover what we like to call scrubs.
No, he likes to cover the black people.
And the black people. And the black people.
The black peoples. Or people of color, I should say. And that's really, I mean, like, it's fun. Like, he's gonna be in Miami, and I think he's gonna be in Charleston as well. I want that job.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be following tennis all the while, but I want a job like that. Just saying.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my goodness. So yeah. We'll talk about the politics later this week.
Yes, so there will be a show coming up this week. We will just be giving you all of the news. All of the news. We'll be discussing Nole. Don't forget to charge your phone, okay? I mean, let me tell you something. I know Rafa is salty as fuck, right? There's no doubt about it. But let me tell you something. The shadiest shit I've ever heard Rafa say is just like, my phone was fully charged. I didn't see a text.
Hey, hey,
I didn't see
Rafa
a
and
text from
Federer.
Nolan.
We're so not going to get into this right now, but Roger was throwing shade too, talking about I told Novak I was free, but he couldn't fit me in. I find that hard to
I
believe.
mean, that is understandable. But what I'm saying was that
Well,
Rafa,
you can't leave, but you know what the thing about it is none of these people make sense. It's been months. It's been months. It's not you can't even Fed. You can't leave it till the week of. Come on now.
exactly. You know what I
Well,
mean? But
we don't. Yeah.
I
Listen,
think he said
I
he
know
was
that our
fine
stats
before.
people better be on their jobs and submitting reports. Do you hear me, Chris and Dima? Submit your shit or you're fired.
But I will say though, I will say that there wasn't anything. Indian Wells continues to be a fantastic tournament.
Oh,
But
you were there. Tell us what's going on.
I
Yeah, that was
mean,
really good.
it's still it's still a great tournament, but these people are like price gouging,
It's
right?
expensive as hell.
It
I
is,
saw
and you
you
know what?
tweet that you might not go back. You might
It's
start going to Miami.
I might start going to Miami just because at the end of the day, it's like I'm not sure why it is so. I'm not
It's
sure why.
expensive.
Well, no. I mean, everything is just changing about it. Like, it's still a modest enough tournament in terms of like, because I paid for front row of like the high, like at the level. Like, I didn't pay for anything on the ground, but on the like front row of like the upper level is like was like maybe what $60-$70. So that's fine because I never know if I'm gonna like who's on stadium, and so I'll like go off and walk and do other things. So I don't mind doing that. But really, what's becoming really pricey is just the place to stay. Like hotels are gouging prices. Like I stayed in a
Yeah.
hotel for 2 nights, and the price for one night is the same as it was for 2 nights this
Oh
year
wow.
is the price of one night next year. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And all the other
Yeah.
hotels are like $800, $900 for a night. I was
A
like,
night?
a
Oh
night.
no.
What? Does that
Ridiculousness.
come with a stripper? That def
I
come with a
mean,
stripper.
so like,
Did
I
you
mean,
give me
obviously,
some
it's like
point?
they're really trying to, they just really have changed the shape of that. And it's like, it's bizarre.
So they're not looking for you to come there anymore. They're
I
looking
mean,
for something.
they're definitely not looking for me to come there. They're looking for somebody else to come there.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
clearly.
It's
You know
you
what I
know what?
mean?
When I first started going to Cincinnati, I could get a hotel, and I don't mean a shithole, a decent hotel for the entire week for under $300.
Yep.
But the bigger the tournament got, the more it cost to go.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
on that note, now that we're feeling poor and we're being
Well,
priced out
I
of
mean,
tenants,
it's just a different organized. I mean, as soon
it
as the
just lets
tournament
you know
becomes
who they
great,
want there, right?
yeah,
Like,
that's really what they're doing. I mean, they're pricing
mm-hmm.
people out of the marketplace, and
Yeah.
that is what it is. But it's just something to note that like as soon as the tournament blows up, because I think like you said, since he's getting expensive,
Yeah.
it has like a sweet spot period, and then it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Well, they're gonna find out how that's worked because I mean, trust me, people would love to come there, but maybe they're trying to attract foreign, because real estate in New York is about, getting foreign buyers, not local buyers at all. So maybe they're just trying to bring foreign players,
But when you
foreign
can't
people.
afford to
But
go to the tournament in your own backyard, there's an issue.
here's the problem, tournament directors. People not gonna come to the US very soon because y'all got weird gun laws. They might get shot up on a stadium. The tourists might be like, fuck, I ain't coming here. I might die watching Roger Federer.
Can somebody get us Gil Monfils on the phone? I gotta know what happened. All right, let's wrap it.
All right. Well,
So, folks, there will be another podcast, like I said, during the week. So enjoy this one. I know y'all waited with bated breath. I mean, Janina, just know that your people are coming to me. You know what I mean? And I love your people. But you know what? When shit go down, you need to put it out there, put it on blast. You know what I mean? Because they tweet me directly, okay? And they come in my DMs directly.
Hey,
Okay.
listen, know that some of them have my phone number and they're like, hey, what's going on?
And meanwhile, and you know what, Andreen, and look, who do you want? We can barely hear the one who caused all the trouble, right? Like she is the one.
I love you all.
Oh, okay, whatever. But anyway,
Okay.
so folks, this is gonna be we're gonna have a 146 podcast before the end of the week. So look forward to that one when
All
we do
right.
it.
Ciao,
So let
ciao.
me let you all go. Have a good day.